Okay, so today we have Ahlam and Les. Ahlam's from the SWEP. She's the SWEP project administrator for Yarra Valley Water, and Les works at DELWP. And so today is a teacher PD session around the school's water efficiency program. So I'll now pass over to Ahlam to share her screen and start the presentation.
Thank you so much, Rebecca, for facilitating today's session. And I am going to share my presentation now. Let me know if you guys can see it.
Yes.
Alrighty, perfect. My name is Ahlam El Halabi. I'm the SWEP project administrator. I work at Yarra Valley Water, who's fully managing this project on behalf of the Department of Environment, Land, Water and Planning. And I'd like to present to you about this amazing program. The Schools Water Efficiency Program is a Victorian government initiative which offers schools in Victoria resources and materials to better understand their energy and water usage. It also provides curriculum resources that are available for teachers to use in classroom. Research have confirmed that where students are engaged, savings can be greater. Our main purpose is to save water and money and educate the current and future generations about the importance of the efficient use of water as a natural resource. Now, schools commit to a 3-year contract to the program at a cost of $300. We offer 2 loggers for free for each participating school. In terms of our structure, the SWEP is based on 3 core pillars, starting from the data loggers, which are devices we attach to the existing water meters at school. They read pulses for every litre passing through the water meter. Reads the data in 15 minutes interval and store it and sends it once per day to our portal, which is our interactive website where all participants, from school admins to teachers, students, the water corporations, they all have access to this data. And we also have some activities for primary and secondary students to be used in classroom. In terms of our stakeholders, we have the students, schools, teachers, water corporations, data logger suppliers, and us, the SWEP team. In Victoria, there's 2,500 Victorian schools with an average annual water usage of 5.5 billion litres of water. Now, out of that, we have 1,250 registered schools. They vary between private, Catholic and government schools. So the majority is with government. We have 957 participating schools. Some impressive results that we are very proud of. The schools have saved, since the beginning of this program in 2012, they've saved more than 8.9 billion litres of water. Visually speaking, just let's imagine 8 Melbourne cricket grounds, which is a lot of water, and that would have cost $28 million. This is just a screenshot of what a school can see when they log into the portal. I am going to log in and show you live how to navigate, what to see and so on. But it is very, very easy, as we can see on this screenshot. The school can have access to yesterday's usage, the usage over the past 7 days, for the month and year to date. And we present the data to them in graphs and make it as easy as possible for them to understand this data and to make it easy for the children to understand it as well. Now, what we do when things go wrong, we receive a daily file from our data logger suppliers, who are responsible for the provision of all these loggers and the maintenance of them, and responsible for transferring the data to our digital services provider. So every single morning we do that manually. We have a contractor who opens the report and we sort the school's usage from highest to lowest. We've set a threshold of 100 litres per hour. So what we do, we check the school's usage at 12 a.m. each night, and wherever there is usage more than 100 litres, we send an email alert to the school. It is an example of it. So SWEP is usually the first to identify these issues and alerts schools to their existence. This is critical because cracked pipes won't fix themselves. And this is an example of what I've shown you here. On that graph, we can see an increased amount of water usage, which most likely would be cracked pipe, and it needs to be investigated as soon as possible. So it is a trigger for the school to start doing all the investigation and not wait up until receiving the water bill from the water corporation. Otherwise, it would be too late, and that would have cost them a lot of unnecessary costs. This is another example of a school on a Friday afternoon. As we can see here, maybe after they finished cleaning the school, a toilet cistern was stuck all the way through the weekend, and that could waste a lot of water for the school, and once again, unnecessary cost. What we've done now with the email alerting system, we've automated it. So now schools don't need to wait up until Monday or any weekday to be alerted about the usage. We will also send alerts on weekends. Early adopting schools were so impressed with the water monitoring. They encouraged the SWEP team to develop an electricity monitoring module for the program, which was supported by the Department of Education. Now, interval data from the electricity smart meters was integrated into the SWEP site for participating schools. And now, I must note that not all schools at this stage have access to electricity monitoring. We are working hard on having contracts with all distributors in Victoria to make the SWEP electricity monitoring more broadly available to schools. At the moment, we have 164 participating schools. Same as the water module, this is what a school can see when they log into the portal. And it shows them the electricity usage for the previous day, over the last 7 days, and year to date. And we also show graphs. They can change the view and they can request custom reports and so on. Now, it's very hard for us to determine savings for electricity unless we work closely with the school, given that we know all schools have some kind of baseline in their usage. And what we help them do is differentiate between the discretional and operational usage. So this is a great tool to make everyone accountable for their behavior and for the usage outside school hours. With some schools, they rent out their facility to external parties, whether on weekend or after school, and that makes it much easier for the school to make them accountable for the actual usage. Now, in terms of solar panel monitoring, we do that as well, but we only have 10 or so sites at the moment that are part of solar panel monitoring through our program. So this is what they can see. Now, while we understand that this might be available for electricity and solar through the retailers, but it is a great place for the schools to have access to water, electricity and solar on the same page. And that would help the schools ensuring whether their inverters are working or not. So as we can see here, when the inverters are well operating, there would be generation of the solar results to a reduction in the electricity. As we touched base earlier on the curriculum materials, we have some activities for primary and secondary students, and one of our main goals for this financial year is to have more engagements with schools and encourage them to use these resources in classroom. What we also do at the end of each school term, while we understand that schools might be very busy doing so many things before locking up the school for holiday, we send them the SWEP Handy Hints Guide and the checklist to chase down leaks just as a reminder for them to ensure that everything has been turned off before they lock it up for the holiday. That's about it from me in terms of the presentation. I'd like to show you now how we log into the portal, but I might need to stop sharing here for a second if you allow me to do this. One moment, please. And ladies, I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have. I understand that there's no teachers in these sessions, but if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask.
I just had one question at the moment. With the electricity monitoring, do you know if AusNet Services, that's the distributor for that covers Gippsland, are they part of the program?
So we had a contract with them which has expired, and now we are working on renewing it. So yeah, we do have a few sites that are with AusNet.
Okay, so any school, yeah, schools in East Gippsland would all be part of the AusNet network, yep.
Absolutely. Alrighty, so 1 second, please. Trying to find the correct screen. All right, here we are. Can you confirm that you can see my screen?
Yes. Yeah.
All right, perfect. So whenever a school admin logs in, I've got an example here. We work closely with Melbourne Girls College, and we do have an approval to use them as an example in our presentations. So this is the admin view for whenever the school logs into the portal. We can see here the school's details. So they are participating to SWEP to monitor water and electricity. If we scroll down a little bit further, we have the school's details in this section. And on the left-hand side, we have information about their staff, the classes, events, resources. I'll come back to this a little bit later, but I'd like to show you what they can see when they visit the actual site. And this is where the fun begins. So in the first tab here, this is their home screen. As I mentioned before, they have access to water and electricity. And with the graphs, they can change it from daily to last 7 days in terms of electricity and water. And this is what they can see. They can change the report to last 7 days, 30 days, or this year, and choose which component, whether water and electricity. They also have access to the custom reports, and this helps a lot if they're going to do a study or research about the actual usage. They can use the recording interval, whether in 15 minutes, 30 minutes, hourly, daily, or monthly. And they can choose the unit of measurement, whether in liters, kiloliters, or megaliters. With the majority of schools have more than one water meter, which means more than one logger. They can choose which meter they want to have access to, and we have a date range here. They receive the file in an Excel spreadsheet, and it helps them doing data analysis. In terms of the supply, we also have some information about the monthly rainfall and water observations over the last 70 days, some kind of information that we feel schools might use. We also have the calculator. Now, especially when we use SWEP in classrooms, we need to make it as easy for the children as possible to better understand it. So if we choose here the most recent day for this particular school, this is what we get. So how much is 10,000 litres? What's 10 kiloliter means to a prep or to a primary grade 1 to grade 6 students. So that would be easy for the teachers to explain to them. It would mean 43,000 glasses of water, or 10,000 cartons of milk, or 72 bathtubs, just to make it, as I mentioned before, as easy as possible for them to understand. Same thing with electricity. It shows them their actual usage in a very simple way. So 253 hours with the fridge on, or 552 hours using a hairdryer, and all those examples that we can see here. Schools have also the option to participate in a comparison with other schools. That may take just a few more seconds, but I'll show you how it looks like. So just to encourage schools to use less water, to be able to compete with other schools in the same situation. So we present here the school's name, the average daily usage per person, the population of a school, to make it easy for everyone to do the comparison. That's it for the schools page when they log in to the portal. However, I'd like to show you here, if we go back to the admin view, the resources that are available for teachers to use in classrooms. There's some featured resources to teach the children more about water, Water, Learn It, Live It, Volume 1, 2, and 3. And there's a teacher's guide to using the website available for each school. In terms of the resources, we have secondary, primary, and the curriculum module introduction. I have an example here of, just to show you the primary activities. So some kind of information about the data logger, or how can we save water, what is our school is, how much is our school is using, and so on. So we encourage all teachers to start using it, and to start using it in classroom, and engage children in monitoring the school's usage, as they would have a goal towards to, and it makes them more, it encourages them to give more and to learn more about water. It's a big document, however, yeah, all schools have access to it. And that's it from me. Thank you, Rebecca.
Thank you. Thank you. That's really interesting. Is Les presenting as well, or?
No.
No?
No, I was just coming along to answer questions and encourage schools or teachers to use the program. I think it's worth noting that the program is heavily subsidized by the state government. So the data loggers and the cost of installation and maintenance over the 3 years is probably in the order of a couple $1,000s a school.
Okay, so the subscription goes for 3 years, does it, if they sign up?
Yeah, the way the subscription is working at the moment is, if a school signs up, the substantive cost per year is $150, but we give them the first year at no cost. So they virtually get to 3 years for $300. And then if they renew after 3 years, they'll pay $150 a year.
And then is that sorry, with the cost of the data loggers, and are the data loggers just for the water, or do you need ones for solar inverters as well?
Look, generally not for solar, definitely not for electricity, because all schools now, I think, would have smart meters, and the electricity data would be transferred. For solar, we're currently only working with Fronius inverters.
Yep.
And that's more a result of other suppliers not particularly wanting to share data. I think they want to direct schools to their websites as opposed to letting them view it on another site.
Yeah.
But there are I guess the benefits, if we can get the data for schools to have an easy login where they can see all three at once, they can look, check daily if their inverters are actually generating or their solar panels are generating electricity. So we would like one to get better use of it. The website seems to work well. The data transfer can be intermittent if the internet is not good. Unlike water, if it misses a day, the next time it transmits, it'll transmit 2 days or 3 days or whatever is required. But the solar inverters tend to only transmit the most recent day. So if it misses a day, we end up with a gap, which is not ideal when you want to look at the end of the month and see how much you've generated. So there's a little bit of issue with reliability, and because we're only working with Fronius where they have management systems built into their inverters, we're sort of limited to how many schools we can connect.
Yeah, no, but that's good to know if we're advising some schools. Yeah, if that's might be an option or not. The Fronius inverters were quite popular a while ago as well. So, and then is the SWEP program the links with all of the water corporations? So,
yes.
Yeah.
So we have agreements with all the water corporations to allow us to put loggers on their water meters. We occasionally come across schools where the water meters may not be pulse capable, and then it's up to the water corporation whether they replace that water meter. In most cases they will, because it probably means it's very old and it probably to their benefit to replace it.
Sorry, and I missed too, is there a cost in installing the water logger at the start? Or?
No, we cover the cost of
fantastic.
The provision of the logger, the installation, and we're even at this stage covering a replacement after 3 or 4 years when they either need a new battery or depending on the technology. So the technology we put in when we started in 2012 has been superseded by twice almost now.
Yeah.
So technology, hopefully what we're putting in now will get 6 to 8 years, and water corporations are moving toward digital metering. So in the future, we would hope that we would rely on digital meters.
Yes.
Of the water corporations to get the data, and then they would continue to display it in the same format they see.
Yeah. No, that's fantastic. So who hosts the website, the SWEP website? Is that DELWP or?
Look, we run through a contractor. The site that we see now is I guess developed, managed, maintenance and everything through a company called Luminary.
Yeah.
So they're responsible for what you see on the website. So the data goes to them and they ensure that it's displayed for the schools.
Yeah. Well, fantastic. Has anyone else got any questions at all? No, I don't think so.
Silence is no.
Sorry, I was trying to unmute. I don't have a question, but I just wanted to say I don't have a question.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry.
No, that's fine. I just think it's a great opportunity. So now we all actually know about it too, so we can let any of our schools know, and especially because we're cover across all of Gippsland, that it's an option for the school. So I think it's really good and valuable. So thank you very much for your time today.
It's probably worth noting too, as resource smart schools, that connecting to SWEP helps tick a lot of the boxes required for getting their accreditation for
Definitely.
water.
Yeah, it would really help with water, but also with possibly with the energy as well.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. No, it's really good. I think I'm all for data, and I think kids enjoy using the data as well. The visual gives them a better understanding, and I like the way you've got the comparisons in the volumes of water as well. I think that's really, really useful.
Thank you.
So thank you. Thank you for your time and for your presentation.
Pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Nice
Okay,
to meet you.
thanks.
Thank you so much.
Nice to
Thank
meet you
you.
too. Okay.
Thanks. Have a good night, everyone.
Thank
That was
you.
See you
great.
later.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.